Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. Before I get into my topic, which is on goals, I want to talk about my 12-week online course for 18 on up. For ages 18 on up, it is a course to get your life on track. It is a course that will help you set and achieve goals spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I have learned quite a bit going on 9 years. I was in a stuck, stagnant place. I dealt with anger. I didn't know how to process through my emotions. I dealt with depression and suicidal thoughts for 30 plus years. I was truly in a dark spot, and I I have come to learn a lot of principles and tools that have helped me. And I share this in the 12-week course, and there's homework assignments throughout each week. There's a Zoom online meeting with a like-minded community for an hour to an hour and a half. And then I have a 15-minute phone call each week, personalized with you, and it helps you target your goal areas, and I help you achieve that as well. So go ahead and click on the comment below, or in the comments below, I will share a link to the 12-week online course. So check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Also, I want to share a quote before I get into my thing on goals. So whether this is true or not, I just saw this on Facebook, and so you know how you got to take face value. So I'm not sure if Pablo Picasso really said this, but I really love the quote. So Pablo Picasso said, "The first half of our life is learning to be an adult. The second half is learning to be a child." I love that. I love that because that is so true. It is, we take all these things, uh, all these roles and all these things and all this pressure growing up of how to be an adult, and we lose sight of ourselves. And we lose sight of our true, authentic self that we were sent to become. And so learning how to be a kid again, a child, is part of goals. It's part, I wanted to share this because learning to be a child again is part of setting your goals. Children are curious, they're forgiving, they are loving, they are full of life, they explore, and they have a lot more resilience and patience than we tend to have. We have it, it's just we think we've lost it. And so it's important to be able to become that child again, connect to our inner child, and that's what my course helps do as well. So let's talk about goals for a minute. Goals, I want you to think about goals as maybe you're not a runner, and that's okay. I have never ran a marathon, but I have trained for 2 half marathons that I did within a year's time, and I'm calling that good. I'm like a half a marathon plus a half a marathon, that's a marathon. Maybe I didn't do it all at once, but we did it in half. But maybe you're not a runner, you can apply it to something else in your life. But when you train to run a marathon or half marathon, it takes time. It takes stretching. It takes the first day, the first week, you are just going to take it easy and just warm up that body. Let's say your body hasn't ran for quite some time or hasn't ran ever, and you just thought this sounds like a good idea, maybe bucket list to check off my list. And so you want to take that in a smart way. You want to plan it out, right? You want to, and I get into the depths in my 12-week course. I get into how to achieve goals SMART. SMART is an acronym, and I'm not going to get into the acronym of achieving our goals, okay, because that's for when you sign up for the course. But it's important that we just take little step by little step. Just, you know what, the first week we're going to do this much, the next week we'll build on that and do a little bit more, and you keep building and building until you reach your goal. So I thought now is a good time of year to talk about goals, because if you're anything like I have been in the past, so my old self, I would set all these goals New Year's Eve, just before New Year's hit, so that I'd be ready and raced, ready to get out the door and achieve my goals, right? Well, February, March comes along, and it's like, hey, I haven't even hit my goals, and I don't know that I've even focused on my goals that I set. So, what's the use? Throw my hands in the air and say, I give up. That's what I did. And so goals, I think it's important. A lot of the times when I've set goals, I look at the big picture. I look at the end result and I want to be there. And so I beat myself up when I haven't even allowed myself to take the little steps to get there. And I love goals when you have somebody you can answer to. It is so important to have like the buddy system so that you can take accountability for actions. You actually call up your best friend and say, hey, this is a goal that I have created and I want you to hold me to it. A life coach, a mentor is awesome for that reason because it's like, hey, I need you to help me stay on track. I want to do all these things. So that's kind of an incentive to join my 12-week program as well. So uh, you do little steps, right? Focus on the little steps, not the end goal. Because if we're focused on the end goal entirely, then it gets a little overwhelming and we get bombarded and it's like, oh my goodness, uh, I'm done. And so instead of doing that, we just chunk little bit by little bit, take little pieces. So for instance, I have a goal to really have patience, right? I still have half of my kids in the home, and it's a good chunk of kids for the average American household. I have 4 kiddos still at home, and I have got to have patience, and I homeschool my kids, and that requires patience. People say, oh, I don't know how you do it, and I'm like, well, believe you me, sometimes it doesn't get done like I want it to. And so I feel like I'm constantly working on patience, and my end goal is to just have patience in every scenario, right? Like sit down and it's just gonna look like this beautiful picture of heaven, right? Just a beautiful interaction, calm, and no agitation or irritation going on. Yeah. Well, so that is I feel like a goal that I am constantly working on. And instead of looking at that end picture of having it look perfect and me being perfect, I like to take little chunks. I like to take it day by day, one day at a time. Sometimes, if you are trying to kick an addiction, sometimes it's 1 minute at a time, and that's okay. Celebrate your wins. Allow yourself to celebrate your wins when you set goals. And so a lot of the times we focus on, well, I'm not there yet, and I'm not there yet, and you beat yourself up. We as a society have learned really well how to beat ourselves up when that is not what God intended us to do. He has intended us to not only love him but ourselves so that we can in turn spread that love to others. And if we're constantly beating ourselves up, we're not achieving a whole lot of good. And so just celebrating the wins, the little wins that we make. So I like to, in my patient's direction again, I like to, when I know something is going to come up, like every time I sit down with a child, I have a goal. Now, do I do this every time? No, because training somebody, training yourself, hitting those goals, it takes exercise, it takes practice, it takes work at it. And guess what? You're going to fall flat on your face so many times. I fall flat on my face so many times when I'm working on this whole patience thing. Does that mean to give up, throw my hands in the air and say, I'm done? I'm giving up. I'm not going to learn it in this life. So I'll just be that mean, nasty, ornery mom I've always been. That was my old mindset years and years ago. But I don't give up now. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I fell flat on my face 2 minutes ago. Wash my face, get up, and get back in the game. Stay in the game of life. And the game of life requires us to become our better versions. It requires us to set goals and to reach those goals, but to work at those goals. And when we fall flat on our face, or we just maybe not flat on our face all the time, but maybe we bruise our knee, we really, maybe we bugger up our knee and it looks pretty bad and scraped up. But the important thing is get back up in the race of life, get back up in the game of life, and love yourself through the journey. And instead of focusing on your failures, Focus on what is it I can do differently to achieve my goal, and your little steps. So me, with my patients, I like to say a prayer every time I am getting into maybe what could turn into a sticky situation. Because let's be honest, kids aren't always thrilled to sit down and learn with mom and or teacher or whatever it is. Sometimes they just rather be outside and they don't want to do their work. And so I do like to say a prayer and remind myself, look, invite Christ on your walk with you today. So that has been my spiritual goal this week, is to just invite Christ at every moment so that I can continue to have patience. Christ had all the patience in the world. He loved everybody and he didn't judge situations coming in. He came in every situation with complete love. And so that is my goal in that department. Now I have goals: spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. I have goals in all these areas, and I would hope you have goals in these areas too. And that's kind of what my 12-week course, that includes that too, making sure you are being well balanced and whole in creating these goals so that we can be more balanced. A lot of times, most of us are walking through life and there's an unbalance. We might be a little bit, we might be really good on the spiritual spectrum and physical. Maybe you are doing so good physical and spiritually, you're feeling like you are, but you're not really doing good in those areas if you are struggling emotionally and mentally. Because if you are struggling emotionally and mentally, that puts dis-ease in your body, which can later turn into disease in your body. So it affects your physical health. And when we are beating ourselves up and emotionally we are not doing so well, our spirit suffers. And so it's so important to set goals in all of these areas so that we can get to our better version. Okay. And we're working towards perfection. We're not going to reach perfection in this lifetime. We're not going to get there, but it's called continue on and get back up and get in the game and go for it. And love yourself in the journey and forgive yourself and love others too. As they're making mistakes all around you, have a little compassion for them. Have a little compassion for them and try to see them in a whole different set of lenses and have a perspective. Pray for a perspective that you can be more open and learn in that way. So I want to know what goals you're working on. Goals are important. And maybe I want you to focus on, I'm going to reword that. I want to know in the comments below what goal you want to work on to become more like a child. Because let's be honest, God himself in the scriptures in Matthew 18:3 said, I'm paraphrasing because the scripture sounds so much more beautiful, but become as little children, for that's what the kingdom of heaven is made up of. That is what the kingdom of heaven has made up of. So our goals should be childlike. They should be, children aren't greedy. Children are not greedy. They are not out to conquer and get the whole world. They want to love, they want to unite, they want to explore, and they want to include everyone around them. And so what can we do to be more childlike? So in those areas, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, think of goals that are going to hit you towards becoming more like a child. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Again, this 12-week online course that I offer, it starts June 24th and it goes to September 9th. Live online classes through Zoom with a bunch of visuals, homework to help you through. Do you have to do the homework? Absolutely not, but you're going to get so much more out of it if you do. And so I give a lot of information and help along your way, and a 15-minute online call, or not an online call, telephone call, individualized. And it's truly a change. It will change your course if you're feeling stuck and stagnant and need that extra boost in life. And also, again, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I have a message to share the world. This is my purpose. This is my mission. I will not give up. I fought for my life spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. On all those levels, I have fought for my life, and God has shown me a better way. And I have used these tools, and they're tried and true. And it doesn't mean I'm perfect at it, but I know what works. And I know when I'm feeling off track, I have the stuff to get me back on track. And I can help you along the way. That's my mission. My mission is a healing mission. I was broken and I was lost in a muck in my emotions and my past traumas. I was lost. And you know what? I was able to connect with my inner child, connect with God, and to learn just the simplest of things that have helped me heal. So I am on a healing mission to help others heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And so maybe you don't sign up for my 12-week course, but like and subscribe and share it with others. Share my message with others so that I can share my light, so that it can help others that might be stuck with depression, postpartum depression, suicidal thoughts. There is hope. My message is hope. And it all comes from my source, Christ and God. I can't say it enough. That is where I have gotten my hope and my peace. But I have learned so many tools along the way because I literally went to them and said, I don't know how. I don't know what this looks like. Please show me. And they have showed me tools and techniques that have been answers to prayer. So like and subscribe again, and God bless. You have an amazing day, and go out and get your goals and love yourself in the failures and celebrate your wins. God bless. Have a good one. Bye.